around the early 1990s. Two bros from space were lost in space, nearly 100 light years away from the Earth. In the cold, deep black darkness, they became friends, only able to see from starshine and the occasional passing comet. They became bros from talking, all by themselves, until a third presence introduced itself in the form of pure energy waves. It told them stories. They followed up the information stream to a blue planet, where they crash landed on two separate coasts. But the bro story still goes on.
Coast to coast.
Today, we review the director's cut of Blade Runner. Space coast to coast.
Space Bros!
Space Bros! Coast to coast!
My name is Victor.
My name is Salem.
I am a bro on the West Coast.
I'm Victor's bro from the East Coast.
So we're doing a director's cut on the 1982 director's cut
of Blade Runner, Victor.
We saw that it was coming out. First thing was I never really heard about the movie, first off. But watching it was actually very interesting.
No, I thought it was great, yo.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Because even like first putting it on, I was like, man, 80s movies, like it's hard to get into it when you've already seen a movie that's like, present day. Honestly, really, really good. I've probably seen it already like 2 times already. It's really good. Really
you
good.
Watched it again? I watched the ending again. It's so beautiful, bro.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Why do you think he saves him at the end? Why do you think he grabs his hand?
I don't think he wanted to die alone. I think that was his idea.
Yeah, all his friends died.
Yeah, everybody died. Everybody died. And the last friend that he had, he was in love with her. And that was a crazy thing to see, because the first idea they have is that they have no emotions, but now they're evolving and they're developing emotions. He lost everything to him. You know what I mean? That's when he lost somebody he loved. He wanted to feel fulfilled when he died, not to kill him and not to be alone and to say his story, because honestly, the last thing that he said was talking about what he's seen, what he's lived through.
Yeah, you're right. By saying it to Harrison Ford, because he thinks everything is going to disappear, but at least with Harrison Ford being the only person who can remember him.
Like, so something of a remembrance.
Also at the end when he talks about, like, I've seen things people have never seen. I was on a spaceship on the shoulder of Orion. I was just thinking, there's 100 million people in New Tokyo. Why can't they, first of all, be the slave labor themselves? Second of all, they don't have enough volunteers who want to see the shoulder of Orion. I don't even want to be on Earth anymore. If I knew...
No, but that's if you're selected to go over there. Like the guy, I forget his name.
Sebastian.
Yeah. He took her in, and he's like, oh, I was supposed to go to space, and I did the physical. And since I'm 25 years old, and he knows that he's 30.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't pass the physical, so I couldn't get up there.
Yeah. That's some like strange future disease. I love the movie, man. It looked so good. The whole cityscape. I can't believe I've never seen that movie before. There's so much things that are so obviously based off that. Like Samurai Jack. The way it's silent for such long periods of time in the movie, and it's just music.
Oh no, that's what I love. I love that about the music. It's not music. It's just some ambiance. It's not even like an actual song.
Yeah, it's reacting with him.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so good the way they did that.
That's what makes the rape scene seem extra rapey. The music is like in the background a little bit, and it's like a little negative, dark sounding, and it's just, is he raping her?
I obviously think about it, and it could fall in that he was, already in love with her, right? And he felt that she was in love with him, and that she was scared, and he didn't want her to be scared.
What do you think is different about her? Because, we saw the director's cut, and you watched you watched the alternate ending. In the voiceover, he says, what's different about her is that she's not programmed to die. Also, in that same video, it says that Ridley Scott and the people didn't want that ending.
Yeah, no, it's funny, because, like, with that ending, that alternate ending, I disregarded it totally. I didn't like it because I didn't feel like that's what the story was, you know what I mean?
I just brought it up because of the fact he calls her special.
Yeah, he called her special.
It could be because she's not a slave.
She was also different. Tyrell, the guy, the head of the corporation,
Yeah.
which by the way is Slugsworth in Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka.
Oh, is that Slugsworth?
Yeah, that's Slugsworth.
That's so funny. You know, spoiler alert. That's not really Slugsworth in the Willy Wonka movies. He works for Willy Wonka, pretending to be an operative from Slugsworth.
Are you saying spoiler alert for the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for life. They couldn't get the rights, and they still made a beautiful story.
They couldn't get the rights for that one?
I don't know why they did that, but that's just like how I imagine things like that happening.
Super Mario Brothers is Super Mario Brothers. It's not the same as the game.
Oh, it's definitely by the same people as the game, yo.
No, I don't think so.
You know how big Nintendo is? That if somebody made a Super Mario movie with real actors that was famous, no. They've had some hard years, bro. They've had some unsuccessful stuff, bro. That makes you a company ready to sue. You need that extra cash, bro. You about to make some movies, right? There's a movie out, you getting that licensing, bro. Nintendo's had some hard times, bro.
They're just waiting for it.
No one believes Nintendo is like a steady, safe company. Okay, Victor, I found a fan theory about the weird thing that I didn't even think about is that Harrison Ford is a replicant. Like people question if he's human or fake.
Yeah, I had that question too. That's what the girl, I forget her name, I actually brought up twice. First thing was, have you ever retired a human before? Right? That's her first question. Like, how do you know what's reality, right?
Yeah. So it didn't get any of our last conversation. So one of the main things people think about is if he's real or not. What they use as the connection is the unicorn at the end of the movie. So the guy is saying, if this unicorn means anything to you, then we have the same dreams, and if we have the same dreams, it's implanted memories.
Yeah. No, I didn't think about that though. That's a clever one though. That's really, really good.
Yeah, that makes things interesting for the next movie too.
Yeah, it still makes everything interesting on its own. It's like worth watching.
And you know what's also cool about the next movie? Because it's like 40 years later, they've had so long to think about that question, if he's real or not, that it can be either or. Like, they didn't make up their mind in this movie.
What's funny is, I love this because it falls into the director's cut, because that's the cut we're taking, and I think that's the cut that they're taking as well. Right after he watches this, the guy die, he watches him die, and he gets back home, and he is the most paranoid person in the world. He has his gun and everything. He finds a unicorn. He's still like, what about everything? And you see in the trailer, the next one, that he's still the same paranoid guy. Like, he never changed after that. Like, that ending when he's just like driving the coastline.
He's on the run because he's with a replicant, and they're out to kill all replicants.
Yes, and he himself is a replicant.
Like, Tyrell puts out the call, like when he shoots down the stripper one, and he goes up to Chief, and the Chief's like, still 4 left, and he's like, no, 3, and he's like, no, the Tyrell girl was a replicant. She ran away, but Tyrell reported her either way. He told, oh, by the way, I had a secret replicant. She didn't know she was a replicant. She's on the run now. Kill her too.
Yeah. Why did he do that though? That was weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Was it because she failed the test and she was a failed experiment?
No, because she didn't know she was a replicant. So when he told her that, her mind was blown. Just imagine if you found out you were not real.
Just like Westworld.
Yeah.
Just like Westworld.
So many things influenced.
Were they made as soldiers?
They're made as slavers, like miners, conquestors, explorers. We put them on the spaceships that take forever to get. We sent them out to dangerous places.
When I was looking at the movie again, I realized that there was a big Y, a replicant with the blonde hair. You know, he was really smart, really intelligent. He was like way over like level he should have been conscious of. He literally spoke out different ways, bring his lifespan bigger. But the guy said, no, we can't. This happens. It falls in like that. Which goes into that whole chess game. He's playing chess and he's going and he sees moves that he puts him in checkmate and all that. So he's smarter is the fact.
Yeah. But he's playing like 4D chess. At the same time he checkmates him, he's also checkmating him, and he got access into Checkmate.
I like that one a lot.
It's a double checkmate.
Double checkmate. Life and game. The lie that I wanted to say, they say we don't want them to evolve with any feelings. We can only just make them do what we want them to do, and eventually they're going to come up with their own feelings. So we come up with the safety net. I said, what's that? He said, we give him a 4-year lifespan.
Yeah.
So he's lying, and he knows he's lying, and the blonde hair guy knows. He goes, so there's no way he's going to help.
I think he's telling him the way we create you, there's no way to change you after we create you.
That the program itself is already.
He said something about like DNA coding.
Yeah.
You know, the way they program him is permanent. No, I like this movie a lot, Victor. I'm really surprised I didn't watch it earlier.
It was beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I can't even believe how sneaky influential it was. It's like inspired anime. You can see how Akira, Ghost in the Shell, even things.
No.
Ghost in the Shell is the same exact thing. The ghost is their mind in a shell. The machine body.
They're conscious.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack Westworld was actually the most similar to it too.
So what would you give this movie, Victor?
Let me watch it another 10 times, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again. I'm surprised this movie wasn't an action movie.
And that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, me too. All the action scenes are like sad. Like when he's shooting the girl, when he shot her the second time, I was like, why are you still shooting? Don't shoot again, bro.
The whole thing is a psychological.
Yeah, it's freaking him out with every kill.
He doesn't know how to take it. To the point he's getting his whiskey, right? And the detective, the other guy taps him. He's like, he's already shook, you know?
Why do you think he's weirded out when he kills people?
Because he doesn't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Because I think they repeat it, you know? And it says, now you know what it's like to live in fear, like us. You know?
Yeah.
Fear is like such an instinct that...
Yeah, like she's like, I want to live. Don't kill me, please. I think what also, maybe he doesn't know if they're a machine or not until after he kills them. There's a little thought that he kills somebody.
He goes, have you ever retired a human accidentally?
Yeah.
He goes, no, I haven't. And she goes, but there's always that risk, right? That you might have.
Yeah, that you will.
He's shooting them down and doesn't really know.
Yeah, it's never 100.
Until they give the okay.
He's all freaked out. They bleed like a person. It still looks like you kill a person. They scream. When he has to shoot the one 3 times, that scene was so weird for me. I could not believe that they put that in the movie. It was so brave. It was so weird. She was screaming so realistically. I was like, what the f***? I couldn't believe it was a robot.
All the actors they had in that movie was to the T.
They're all failed actors.
Besides the guy from Willy Wonka.
No, and that Chinese guy.
He's been in
so
movies.
many movies. Exactly.
Like, you know what's funny? I can't wait for the next one to come out. Salem, your score, what do you give it?
I give it a great movie.
How did we end this?
No, we can talk what we're gonna do.
Definitely watch the sequel.
We're gonna do random movies. We're gonna do the next Blade Runner. We're also gonna do Walking Dead when it comes out.
Yeah, and Godfather.
No. We're never doing Godfather. Never, ever. It's a promise. Space Bros Coast to Coast does not do Godfather. Victor, I gotta go. We've been talking for 2 hours. All right, Victor.
Good night, man.
Bye. Space Bros Coast to Coast out?
Space Bros, coast to coast, out.
What's our computer finger move? Bye.
Later, Sal.
Bye.
Later, Sal.
Bye.
Later, Sal.
Bye.
Later, Sal.
Bye.
Later, Sal.